County Commissioner, Precinct 3. He is a tireless public servant. In 2002, when he was elected Drainage Commissioner of Brazoria Drainage District 4. Re-elected in 2008 and unopposed in 2012 and 16.
He was elected county commissioner in
Correct.
2008.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right, and then re-elected in 2012 and 2016.
excellent, excellent. And he is the Commissioner Courts Liaison to Brazoria County Library System, the Information Systems, and the Highway 288 Corridor Development Team. Commissioner Adams also serves as the Vice Chair of the Gulf Coast 911 Emergency Communication District. Commissioner, please tell us what led you to your life in public service, what your background is, and specifically what career path you were following prior to your first election.
Okay. Well, I'm a lifelong Brazoria County resident. I grew up in Pearland, still live there. I office now in Alvin, so I call this my second home. What led me to start as a drainage commissioner was a tropical storm Allison back in 2001.
Yes.
Kind of devastating in our area, and that's what led me to run for drainage district and re-elect in 06. And what led me here is because once I saw how the drainage district worked with the county, I thought I had something to offer there, and that's why I ran in 08. It was never a master plan. It was something that by chance, and because of my background in sales, I like talking to people. I like seeing them too. I can see all of y'all, but that's what led me here. Previously, I was in sales and I owned Pearland Printing, and I did oil and gas leasing. So I've always, I love sitting at a kitchen table and talking to people, either selling them something or when I was a landman leasing land from them. I just enjoyed that part of it. So, and a big part of my job as commissioner is I get to talk to people like today, and help people solve problems and sometimes just answer questions.
So your background with sales and business, I'm sure, has played quite a role with all of the paperwork and things that go along with your job now. I am sure about that. I understand that you're our commissioner for District 3. What
Yes.
communities comprise District 3?
The east half of the city of Pearland, all of the city of Alvin, Brookside Village up there on Clear Creek, Hillcrest Village just south of Alvin, and then part of the Alvin, not really Alvin Heights, but over to the Galveston County line on the east side, from Pearland down to south of Alvin.
So does this district include Iowa Colony, or it's all east of?
No, Iowa Colony's actually got two different commissioners, depending on which side of the freeway you're on. Okay. I don't have any of Alvin, just mostly all Pearland and Alvin. I mean, I don't have any of Manville. I'm sorry. I have all of Alvin.
That's interesting. How were the lines drawn?
Every 10 years, and next year will be it. Everyone, excuse me, probably did their census this year. And every 10 years, the lines are redrawn to make sure that we each have the same number of people in our precinct. We each have about 90,000 right now, thereabouts, 90, 92, because we have about 366,000 people in the county now. 10 years ago, it was 312,000. So
oh my goodness, that is a big increase. And do you happen to know the population of your district?
Right now, mine's probably very close to the average, about 92,000.
Okay. So the size of a city then.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I know that this area is growing like crazy, especially the north part of the the north part of the county. And I was just wondering, how do the commissioners keep up with the rapid population growth we've been going through?
Well, each one of us, and those that in every county in the state has one county judge and 4 commissioners. Whether it's a very small county or a very populated county, there's 5 members of commissioners court. And we each have a different area. Mine is very city. The other commissioners have a lot of rural areas, which has seen a lot of growth. I would say about 80% of my population is in the city limits of either Alvin or Pearland. So my job is a little different from the other 3 commissioners. I actually work with the cities a tremendous amount, since most of my people live in the city.
I see. Has the way you conduct county business changed because of the pandemic? And do you and your staff work remotely?
We did during the end of March, beginning of April, for several weeks. We didn't know where this was going to take us, and we did work somewhat remotely. Those of us that could, we each were out at least one day a week working remotely. Now that we know this is here for a while, the county has geared up, which obviously my computer's not working, but we have computers in more people's hands so that if they don't need to be with the public, they can work from home and telecommute. But most of our people are back now because we have plastic shields up at the tax offices. If you go to the courthouse, they check your temperature and ask if you've been around anyone with COVID. So there's screeners at every door. So we're adapting as we move forward, since this will be here for a while.
So people are having their temperature taken to enter the courthouse in addition to walking through the metal detector screener and things like that?
Correct. Here at my office, you actually come to the door and call a phone number, and we let them in one at a time, making sure they're wearing a mask. But all of the Justice of the Peace offices, there's 8 of those, as well as the courthouse. Yes, you have to go by a screener and get a sticker put on your badge, and you're good for that day. But they ask you questions and ask if you've been exposed or if you have any symptoms, and they do take your temperature. So there's about 12 different screeners in the county. We call them screeners, where you have to go by them before you can get in the building.
I imagine that's going to come into play with hurricane preparations also. We are expecting an active hurricane season, and I was just wondering what other safety precautions other than temperature checks are in place for our citizens that may need to be evacuated, such as are extra shelters opening to allow for social distance, or plastic partitions, or what's the plan?
That's going to be a challenge this year. Our emergency management director actually talked about that a while back after our meeting. We have a sister county, Bell County, up in Belton, the Temple, Texas, Belton area. That's our sister county. And if we were to evacuate like they did during, what was the one 10 years ago?
During Ike or Harvey? Oh, Ike.
Yes. There was, but they bus people to Belton. And there will be some challenges social distancing should that happen this year. I need to get them to send out, and I can get it to Brenda, to make sure everyone here has an electronic version of the hurricane preparedness book that we put out every year. Because there's also, if you happen to be wheelchair bound or bed bound, there's a place to register so that if a hurricane comes, our emergency management people can reach out and talk to you to see if there's any special needs that you have. And you need to be registered for that. So I need to get that information and get it to Brenda or Dale to send out to all of your people in the gathering place.
I remember during the aftermath of Hurricane Ike, our cell phones were not working, although they were charged up. And the rumor was that the cell service was only for emergency responders. Does that happen in a hurricane?
Yes, and we've come a long way since 10 years ago. Now, first responders, the cell phone companies can actually throttle back the general public so that first responders' phones still work. I can't remember the word for it, but we have it all on our phones. So that's only in the extreme cases where they ever have to do that. But yes, they can throttle back the general public, so only first responders' phones will work.
I find that alarming when we are homebound because of the pandemic, and many of us have loved ones at home that aren't able to get out. Is there a number we can call or something so that we can still have emergency communication for our senior citizens?
I don't know about registering on a cell phone, but that's why I do want to get that hurricane preparedness catalog in y'all's hand, because when you register, if you're a homebound person, that may be part of the process. I've never actually gone through it, but they can do it over the phone. So it is important to be registered if you ever think you're going to need help. And the same goes for people who need electricity for dialysis and so forth, because the EOC can let the electric companies know where there's priority people.
Excellent. My father-in-law is homebound, and before some of our other storms, he's received a call many days in advance where our senior citizens or those with special needs are evacuated days before the general public. Do you know if that's still the plan?
Yes, it will be. There's a 96-hour and a 72-hour and a 48-hour process that they go through when they know when we're going to be affected by a hurricane.
Excellent.
So yes, that is still in place, and that's why I say you're obviously registered, because they know to reach out to you and check with you.
That's right. That's right. I hope that everyone here is registered. Now, Commissioner, is Resoff Park part of your district?
Yes, it is actually.
Yes.
And we just finished a very big revamping of it.
I understand that. Can you tell us about the new trails and what's been done there?
Well, we added the 2 drainage districts, Pearland and Alvin. Both drainage districts helped us and saved the taxpayers a fortune, over $1 million of dirt work, creating another 4.5-acre lake to complement the lake that was already there. And with that dirt, we built a 6-foot tall walking trail around, and I believe it's 2.5 miles around the park. It's in place. The granite on the top of it hasn't been put in place for the walking surface, but you can still walk it today.
Excellent.
Yes, and new pavilions, a new restroom that's being built now, new parking lots. And I really, our county offers not just Resoff Park, but no matter where you're at in the county, we have such a great park system. Whether you want to go feed the ducks at Resoff Park or go to Quintana Park, which is a great down on the beach and walk the beach. Hanson Park, we just acquired another couple of 100 acres last year from the Fish and Game. And that is going to be a tremendous walking trail at some point, really to get back to nature. And I don't know, how many of do y'all like to go fish? Any of y'all like to go fishing?
I see lots of hands going up. Yes.
So, that's Resoff Park. That's one thing. It's stocked, and we will be restocking it with the new lake. People love to go out there and go fishing. I think we ought to get this group together sometime and go do a fish.
Oh, that would be great if we could maintain our social distance and all of that.
Correct.
Is the granite going to be the final topping on the trail there, or will it have something else also?
No, it'll be a crushed granite topping on top of the walking trail all the way around. And like I say, there's not a lot of shade at Resoff Park, but you have Camp Mohawk right down the road, right on down 35. So even in the hot part of the day, there's plenty of shaded areas to go walk. I also encourage people, especially to see things that are 150 years old. Excuse me, my phone ringing. At Stephen F. Austin Park, they're on Highway on 288. The county acquired that about 2 years ago from the SF Austin 500 group. We just acquired 2 months ago more acreage next door to it. But if you're looking for something on a hot day and you want to be indoors, Mr. Grover works for the county. He has done a tremendous job creating a small museum in there. So if you're looking for something during the hot part of the day, there's some indoor activities that you can go.
Excellent. What's the name of the park with the museum?
It's a small museum. It's only about 1,500 square feet. Stephen F. Austin Park.
Stephen
It's
F.
right on Highway 288, just north of Angleton. It's
I'll have to
about
look at that. And you mentioned, I want to say Quintana Park or something like that at the beach.
Quintana Beach.
Quintana Beach.
Yes, in the city of Quintana, down at the south end, just south of Surfside. It's an RV park, but there's also historic homes. One of the oldest homes in Brazoria County that's been facing the beach, that was built in the 1800s, and we use that as our headquarters down there. And that's a very nice building to go walk through, to look at the craftsmanship that's lasted through numerous hurricanes, as well as the Fort Velasco, where they shot a cannon off. And there's still a hill up there where they used to shoot cannons off to keep people from coming into the Bay Area.
Well, I'm going to have to get a list of these parks. I didn't even realize that Brazoria County had a park with a beach and things like that until I just read about that recently. And for those of us who have been home for almost 5 months, it sounds like wonderful, safe outings that we can go to without having to go out into the stores and deal with the general public and worry about viruses and things like that. So I think that's great. Is there a resource available online or on paper listing the parks, the county parks, and directions and amenities?
Yes, and I think there's 9 parks. If you go to the Brazoria-County.com, and it says departments, and if you click on departments and click on parks, you're going to see a list of all the parks. And some of these actually have, in case you wanted to go for a little night out down at San Luis Pass, or even at Quintana, there's little homes at San Luis Pass. There's little cabins, little one-room efficiency type cabins you can rent. And you're right on the water. When you look out, when you sit on the porch, you're looking at the water. And very, very reasonably priced for county residents. You get a discount.
Very good. I will definitely look into that. Well, Commissioner Adams, you have been a very special friend of our Gathering Place community. You were instrumental in helping us obtain the community development block grants, which have provided the funds for the food for our in-person gatherings. And these socials have been funded through community block grants since 2008. We wish to express our heartfelt thanks for all of the hard work that you put into that. These gatherings would not be possible without the lunches. I can speak firsthand. The fact that my father-in-law could go someplace and be safe for 4 hours gave me a chance to get out for dentist appointments and do simple things like mop the floor and things that I don't do when he's home. So thank you very much. We greatly appreciate all that you've done with these grants. And it's been wonderful having you join us today. I hope next time we see you, we can see you on video also. And I look forward to getting the whatever electronic version of the hurricane prep plan for our seniors when that comes out. And thank you so much for the information on the parks. I haven't been anywhere in so long, and I've just been so desperate, as many of us are, to find a safe place to get out. Again,
well, thank y'all for having me. Sorry the video didn't work, and I just appreciate everything y'all do. I know as a caregiver how that can be, and I know the Gathering Place, and y'all have great leadership with Brenda and Dale over the years, getting it to where it is. I think it's a fantastic organization that y'all have, and I'm glad to be a part of it, and hopefully I hope too you can see me. So
yeah, I hope so. And thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I see that we do have Michael with UTMB